welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming here today. Welcome to the Hotel Churchill. I think it'd be an understatement to say that this is a great day for our city, and I'm happy to stand here with our Mayor, Kevin Faulconer, and the President and CEO of our Housing Commission, Rick Gentry, and a number of our other partners in this effort to solve homelessness in San Diego, to state very clearly that we do believe that we can end this problem in San Diego, and it starts with the unveiling that we're making today of Housing First San Diego, the San Diego Housing Commission's Homeless Action Plan, which will impact the lives of as many as 1,500 homeless San Diegans over the next 3 years. It begins right here with a $17 million renovation of the Hotel Churchill, expected to be completed in early 2016. This historic building will become home to 56 formerly homeless veterans, 8 former foster youth, and another 8 adults who also need supportive services. This is what we call the Housing First model. It's about providing homeless San Diegans a roof over their heads, and that once they're in that safe space, help them rebuild their lives by providing them the health care and other social services that they may need to address their underlying issues for their homelessness. The Churchill is an incredible partnership between the Housing Commission's nonprofit affiliate, the Housing Development Partners, Civic San Diego, the County of San Diego's Mental Health Department, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, a truly collaborative effort. The renovation of the Hotel Churchill is being built with more than $11 million in federal funds and is one of 5 key components that make up Housing First San Diego.
But this is all about moving our great city forward and making sure that everyone is moving forward. One of my biggest priorities as mayor is to make sure that we're creating opportunities for all San Diegans, regardless of where they live or regardless of their situation. So one of the things that the advisory committee came together, we did our One San Diego plan, how we can provide this help and opportunities for homeless individuals and their families. First recommendation was to continue with our Housing First strategy. And that's really the anchor of what we're talking about here today. Another strong recommendation is we need to collaborate with the San Diego Housing Commission on permanent supportive housing programs. And today we're taking a big step on both of those goals. Over the next 3 years, the San Diego Housing Commission will award up to $30 million to create permanent supportive housing rental units for homeless individuals and families. These rental units will be affordable for at least 55 years. And that is very good news for San Diegans who need this help. These development funds can also be used to convert transitional housing to permanent supportive housing. And today, the Housing Commission is announcing the first $10 million is available. Now we need service providers, developers, and other potential funders to help step up and come forward with creative solutions, which they have in the past, and I know they will in the future. And we really need them to provide their creativity, their ingenuity to craft proposals that serve homeless veterans, our families, our youth, our aging population, everyone who has been in the system. And each and every proposal will have supported services as the national Housing First model calls for. But of course, we're not stopping there. Next November, another $10 million will be made available. Then in November 2016, the final $10 million, all to create additional permanent supportive housing. And these funds will be used to offset the total development costs in combination with additional sources of funding. This is something that I give Rick Gentry a tremendous amount of credit for. Rick's been all about how do we leverage everyone? How do we leverage all partners to come to the table with the #1 goal of providing additional opportunities? $1 can leverage $2, $3, $4, and oftentimes $5. That's why this program is so exciting. This $30 million is coming from a major commitment of federal grants and funding as well as the city's Affordable Housing Fund, all of which are going to be administered by the Housing Commission. And all of us know that the Housing First approach is the right path forward. And we recently received a major vote of confidence from the state with the award of $1 million to the Housing Commission. And I also want to thank Funders Together to End Homelessness for stepping up to the plate, providing $240,000 that will be used towards the development's operational expenses. And I also want to give thanks and credit to our partners at the county, who really step up time and time again to provide those services. And we are going to be working very closely together with the county, as we always do, to make sure that these programs are a huge success. To accompany the funding, the Housing Commission will make available up to 300 federal rental assistance vouchers in the first year. And that's something that we are all very excited about, and really is talking about making sure that we have all of the program components working together. And I think that's the hallmark of this 5-point plan that we're talking about. It's all about working together to make a huge difference in people's lives. Take a look around at where we are here today, of course, the Hotel Churchill, as Council President Gloria just talked about. It's a great example of what you can achieve when everyone works together, when you have that combination of funding and you have those strong partnerships. I'm very excited to be here today. I appreciate the work of Council President Gloria. Our Council Member Ed Harris is here today. All of you who have been partners. Guys, we're making a difference in the lives of San Diegans. That's what it's all about, and that's why I'm so excited.
Here at the Churchill, homeless veterans and young adults aging out of foster care will receive federal rental assistance vouchers to help them live here. And that's possible because back in April of 2010, the San Diego Housing Commission laid the foundation for implementing the Housing First model right here in San Diego. The Housing Commission was one of the first in the nation public housing agencies to ask permission from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to use federal rental assistance vouchers to provide long-term housing for the chronically homeless individuals. Today, the San Diego Housing Commission is committing a total of 1,500 federal rental assistance vouchers over the next 3 years to help additional homeless individuals and families in the city of San Diego. That means that 1,500 homeless San Diegans will now have permanent housing. This is the third key component in Housing First San Diego. These vouchers will provide much-needed rental assistance for low-income tenants with incomes below $33,000 a year for one person. Low-income tenants will pay a portion of their income toward the rent, and federal funds will pick up the rest. The housing vouchers will begin to go to work early next year and have an estimated annual value of $15 million. For example, 275 of these federal rental assistance vouchers are already committed to 4 major downtown affordable housing developments that will be completed in the next 2 years. To note that we will also have a commitment to help chronically homeless veterans. More than 200 homeless veterans will be able to obtain housing and supportive services they need from federal rental assistance vouchers allocated annually to the San Diego Housing Commission. These vouchers are for veterans and bring together the San Diego Housing Commission, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs to help the men and women who have served our country. Up to $15 million in funds from the Federal Moving to Work Rental Assistance Program will be used to acquire more than 100 units of housing. We will commit that 20% of these housing units will be utilized to provide permanent supportive housing for homeless San Diegans.
As the fifth component of Housing First San Diego, the San Diego Housing Commission will set aside 25 of our own affordable rental units to provide temporary housing for homeless individuals and families. This is a continuing commitment of 25 units valued at close to $350,000 per year. While many of our homeless programs emphasize support services, some individuals and families may need only a roof over their heads as they work to rebuild their lives. The San Diego Housing Commission will be one of the first public housing agencies in the nation to commit affordable rental housing that we own and operate ourselves. These Housing Commission units, located throughout the city of San Diego, will be used for this effort beginning January 1, 2015. Tenants will pay up to 30% of their income that they may have toward rent, and the prospective tenants will be identified in referrals from the new Coordinated Assessment and Housing Placement System, which all homeless services providers in downtown San Diego are now using. And I'll point out that it is the leadership of both Council President Gloria and Mayor Faulconer who made this Coordinated Assessment and Housing Placement System work in our city. Participants in this program will be eligible for housing with us for a period of up to 18 months. The Housing Commission will waive security deposits, provide a utility allowance, and we will direct participants to case management services if they need it or wish to have it. The goal is to help our homeless San Diegans get back on their feet and move on to renting an apartment of their own. And in this one, members of the public, you can help us. What we intend is that these 25 units will have basic furnishings provided, such as beds, a dining table, and chairs. We are seeking financial contributions from the public to offset these costs and other related household items. So there is a contact point that you can get in touch with us. It is online. It is Housing First San Diego, one word, at sdhc.org. And I'll repeat, Housing First San Diego, one word, at sdhc.org. In closing the listing of these 5 elements of Housing First, I'd like to point out that this year marks the 35th anniversary of the San Diego Housing Commission. The Housing Commission, I'll point out, does very little on its own and by itself, but we do a lot of work with partners in the community. We see ourselves as catalysts and as partners with others in the community to make sure that the city of San Diego provides housing services to those in need. And I'd just like to recognize that our partners in this effort and their city leaders, as we continue to change the way the Housing Commission does its business to coordinate and to fit the changing pattern of issues here in the city of San Diego. So the partners up here with us this morning, I'd like to recognize. And also in closing, I'd like to recognize 2 other sets of individuals too who have made this work. The first is the staff of the Housing Commission, who do wonderful work, come up with great ideas, and this is a good example of it. Staff, thank you. Excellent work. I appreciate what each and all of you do. And also the Board of Commissioners of the San Diego Housing Commission, who chose homelessness as one of the critical elements of the Housing Commission's strategic plan going forward, and an area that we need to be involved in not only now but going forward as well. Chaired by Gary Gramling, Vice Chair Bobby Spoon. Also members are Frank Tassin, Ben Moraga, Keely Hubbard, Maggie Davis, and here with us today our newest board member as of earlier this month, Dottie Surdy. To the Board of the Housing Commission, thank you for your guidance and leadership as well.
So guys, I know this is big, I know it's complex, but here's the thing. So is homelessness. It's going to take big and complex efforts to try and solve this problem, and that's what we're committing to today. I want to thank the Housing Commission for dedicating so much of its resources, for reprioritizing many of them to tackle this most important of issues in our city. And I want you to just take a look at this coalition that is here. You see folks from Veterans Villages of San Diego, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, United Way, the Downtown San Diego Partnership, our PATH, helping the homeless, San Diego Police Department. We have a broad coalition. This is the only way that we will solve this problem, is bringing absolutely everyone together. The kind of collaboration that is happening, I think, can give us confidence that we will get this right and that we will transition a ton of people off the streets. Again, I want to give a lot of thanks to our mayor, who has made this a priority, to my council colleagues, who is represented here today by Ed Harris, and let you know that, whether it's 1,500 vouchers, $30 million for new development, setting aside 25 units of affordable housing. The list goes on and on. We are making a substantial commitment to solve this problem here, and I think we're going to get it done.